When planning a vacation to Universal Orlando, one key piece in your planning process is deciding where to stay. Universal is home to multiple on-property resorts that have a wide variety of amenities and price ranges, but which option is right for you? Before you book your stay at Universal Orlando, I want to give you a crash course on everything you need to know about the Universal Orlando resorts and hotels. This isn't our only video on the channel about Universal Orlando, so I encourage you at the end of the video to stay tuned for some resort tours as well as Universal Orlando tips. First thing you may be wondering is, why should you stay at a Universal Orlando hotel in the first place? There's other off-property options or other places that you can stay when at Universal Orlando, but there are some perks that you can take advantage of as a resort guest. Of course, one thing I really like is that there is transportation to and from the parks, and some of the resorts are in walking distance to Universal, so you can be flexible in how you get to and from your hotel to the parks. Not only that, a lot of times there are extra park hours that you can take advantage of as a resort guest. You do get a 1-hour entry into the parks, which can allow you to maximize your time in the day and also get some extra time on rides before wait times get longer later on in the day. Another thing you want to look at if you are a Florida resident or an annual pass holder, make sure you check and see what the rates are for those, because you can get discounts at times for resort stays. Also, another nice perk, if you're wanting to do shopping at the park but you don't want to carry everything around with you, they do have a delivery service where you can drop it off at the park and all of your items will get sent back to your hotel room, which I think is very convenient. So Universal itself has 8 different resort options that you can choose from whenever going to stay at Universal Orlando, and we're going to go from the cheapest to the most expensive options. So let's start with the Universal Endless Summer Dockside and Surfside resorts. These are 2 of the most affordable places that you can stay on property at Universal Orlando. So if you're looking to visit within a budget, this is probably the cheapest option that you're going to be able to find. Essentially, Dockside and Surfside are very similar resorts. The only thing that I've heard is different are the sizes. We really enjoyed our stay at Dockside the last time we visited Universal Orlando. They have really great rooms. They are sizable. This resort has a very beachy vibe and it really reminds me of just being on vacation, but they also have a lot of standard rooms and suites that you can choose from whenever you are staying there. There's pools, dining options, shopping locations at each of these resorts. So I think if you are visiting with your family and you're looking for a cheaper place to stay, this is probably going to be one of your best options on property at Universal Orlando. But if you're interested in checking out our stay, I will link the video up here. I did also want to mention Dockside and Surfside are probably one of the farther away resorts from the actual parks, but they do have theme park transportation to and from the parks, and it runs very frequently throughout the day. Every time we went down to the bus stop, there was always a bus waiting there for us, so we didn't have to wait too long, so it is still nice and convenient to be able to get back and forth from the parks. So those were some of Universal's value resorts. Let's talk about some of their prime value hotels. These 2 options are slightly more expensive, and this is Universal's Cabana Bay Resort and Universal's Aventura Hotel. I always say from experience, I personally have not stayed at Aventura before, but I have stayed at Universal's Cabana Bay Resort, and that is probably one of my favorite resorts at Universal for a couple of different reasons. Starting off with Cabana Bay has a very vibrant and retro style that I really liked whenever we stayed there. Another thing that I really liked is for both of these resorts, they have more amenities than what Dockside and Surfside have. And the thing that I like at Cabana Bay is it has its own lazy river in the pool area. The pool itself was very neat, but we absolutely loved checking out the lazy river. It was perfect on a hot day. We were able to just check it out and relax, so it's perfect for a day that you might not be going to the park. Not only that, but both of these resorts are very close to Volcano Bay, and we actually had a Volcano Bay view, which was very beautiful and was very fun to look out at whenever we woke up in the morning. And as far as Aventura goes, I've heard a lot of great things about this hotel. One of the things that people rave about is the rooftop bar that is there, which I think is so neat. This resort has a very modern style, and I've heard it has really great views of all of the Universal theme parks. So if you're looking for a room with a view, this might be the resort that you want to stay at. So what I'm picking up on here, the differences from the Surfside and Dockside compared to Cabana Bay and Aventura are basically the amenities and overall just a slightly nicer experience and hotel option when staying at Universal. Universal does have one preferred tier hotel, and this one is called Lowe's Saffire Falls Resort. Personally, I also have not stayed at this resort, and I also have not visited it before, but it does look like a very interesting resort, and it also is Caribbean and like paradise themed. It has a nice island vibe, which might be nice for your vacation, but another thing that is interesting about this resort is it not only probably has the bus transportation, but it also has water taxi transportation. So So you can actually get to and from the parks with these boats or these water taxis, which are very handy. So there's a couple of different options as far as transportation goes, but also there is a walking path that you can take from Lowe's Saffire Falls to get to City Walk. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but the walking path does also connect with Cabana Bay and another resort we will be talking about here soon, which is Royal Pacific. I would say whenever it comes to resorts, I really appreciate when the resort has a lot of different transportation options in case one goes down. There's another one you can fall back on. It's always nice being able to be in walking distance if you have the option or need the option to walk. So these are all nice perks to take into consideration for Universal hotels. Lastly, we're going to be talking about the most expensive options of Universal hotels, and these are their premier hotel options. And these hotel options include Lowe's Royal Pacific Hotel, the Hard Rock Hotel, and Lowe's Portofino Bay Hotel. Like I mentioned before, these are more expensive options when staying at Universal, but the nice thing about all of these last resorts that we're talking about is it comes with a huge amenity that you can take advantage of actually inside of the parks, which could help you get a good value for your money. The thing that these three specific resorts include in your stay for all of the members of your party that are staying in the room is it includes Universal Express passes. If you aren't familiar with what these express passes are, these are essentially the fast passes that Disney World have, or at Universal they have the express line that allows you to skip all of the lines at Universal for the Universal rides. Now typically when going to Universal, if you want to purchase the express pass, it is an added cost onto your theme park ticket, and usually these express passes are anywhere from $100 and up. But the nice thing is it's all included in your stay if you are staying at one of these three resorts. So I think personally, if you're visiting with a large party, it might be worth it to stay at one of these hotels because you can really make the most of your time at Universal because you have the express pass option, but they're also nicer hotels that you're able to stay at. I don't think it's a huge necessity to necessarily stay at these hotels if you've never been to Universal before, but it is something to take in consideration. If you're thinking of using express passes anyway when on your visit, you could just check into these hotels because it might be a better value for your money. I also have never been to the Royal Pacific Resort before, but it does also have that water taxi transportation, and it looks like a more island vibe hotel as well. Then there's the Hard Rock Hotel, which I have also not been to before, but it does have a really nice California Mission style design. The last one I really want to talk about, which is also the most expensive option at Universal, that is Portofino Bay. This is a very beautiful resort. We went and did some resort hopping one day when at Universal, and we took the water taxi to get to Portofino Bay. It is an absolutely beautiful resort. As soon as you step off the dock into the resort, you immediately feel like you have been transported to Italy. The vibes are amazing. In the evening, they have live music, which really amplifies the experience and making you feel like you are in Italy. The aesthetics and hotel design all around are just so beautiful. It's so picturesque. I absolutely love it. So I think it's a really neat place to stay when at Universal, but it does come with a higher price tag. These are all of the resorts you can check out at Universal Orlando, and I think whenever it comes down to actually choosing a resort to stay at, there are a couple of different factors you're going to want to look into, which are your budget. How much money do you have to spend on lodging at Universal? Is it worth it to upgrade all the way up to their premier hotels, or would you rather stay in a value hotel? I think if you're visiting as a family and you're going to be in the parks all day, it might not be worth it to stay in one of the more expensive hotels because you're not able to even enjoy any of the amenities. So it might be nice just to stay at Dockside or Surfside. They're a very nice, affordable on-property option. But if you're looking for a more relaxing trip and you want a nicer place to stay at Universal, you could check out some of the higher tier hotels that maybe you want to spend more time at, or you might want to just spend part days in the parks and go back to the hotel to enjoy some of the amenities. It all depends on your personal trip, your budget, and what you're wanting out of your vacation to Universal. But in case you're interested in some of the resort reviews and tours that we have, I will leave our Dockside Resort tour here, and if you're looking for more Universal Orlando tips, if it's your first time visiting, I will direct you to a series we have here on the channel. Enjoy your stay at Universal Orlando. Let me know if you have any questions. Of course, hit that thumbs up and subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you guys!